Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We're here today, starting our weekend edition of the show. Thank you for joining me. These are the Cabral HouseCalls, where I figuratively get to come into your home, answer your question that you've submitted at Ask Cabral. Love being able to do these. We do them every Saturday and Sunday. We get to about 6 questions each day, about a dozen for the weekend, and they are always answered in the question, or I should say, yes, in the form of the question they come in, but also the day that they come in. So I believe we are picking up from January 21st. So again, every single weekend we're answering your questions, thousands and thousands of questions answered here on the Cabral Concept, and we're typically just about 6 weeks behind. This show is debuting March 12th. That's hopefully when you're listening, when it goes live. But these questions have come in over the last 6 weeks, and we just answer them in the order they've come in. Most of you are familiar with that. I appreciate you letting me share that with any new listeners of the show, which, by the way, we have so many new listeners. So thank you for joining this mission that we're all on, this shared mission of essentially improving our own life, then teaching it to other people, paying it forward. And that's really what it's all about, right? Help yourself, put on that seatbelt first, and help the other passenger beside you, whether it be a family member, friend, community, you name it. That's really what this is all about. And I'm simply trying to do the same, right? People helped me many, many years ago, and now I'd love to be able to pay that forward. All right, let's get started. And I'm opening up the document right now. Again, most of you know, I don't do any research ahead of time. I just open up this massive document. My team updates every single week. And I love being able to bring you all of the different questions and hopefully answers as well. All right, the first question is from, let's see, Jen. And Jen is asking, I haven't heard you talk about the supplement Tudca before. What is your opinion? All right, I am happy to answer this as well. Tudca is a supplement that I've known about for some time. We may actually begin using it in some of our formulas in the future. Here's the thing about our formulations is we are very cautious to accept certain herbs and different nutrients that go into a formula just to make sure that the research is where it needs to be in order to confirm that this is safe beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's really what it's all about, right? Because we're not going to do anything that I wouldn't recommend for my wife, my kids, my parents, my siblings, my private wellness practice, like all the people, right? I couldn't do that. So that's the thing. Now, I'll tell you this. Tudca is actually used as a medication over in, I don't know if it's Australia, but it's certainly parts of Europe. Now, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. That means, well, there's some efficacy to it for sure. And the main things that I see Tudca, there's a lot of attributes that people like to give to Tudca, like, oh, it's detoxifying, it's this, it can, say all these different cures. And by the way, I have to give my disclaimer because I just always said things that I shouldn't. So meaning like it gets me in hot water, right? So I can't provide you any medical advice, right? Any medical treatment plans or any diagnosis over this podcast, okay? So the main thing that I would use Tudca for is a great way in order to be able to improve liver, bile, and gallbladder flow. Now, that's as good a reason as any to use the product for sure, but there's a lot more attributed to Tudca as well in terms of its, helping with cholesterol or liver enzymes or even, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, looking at blood sugar, Alzheimer's, What else does it look at? Parkinson's, neurological based issues. But really, if I used it, I would use it for what it's been proven to do, which is help with gallbladder, liver, bile-based drainage. And again, I think it could be a good product for that. All right. I'll probably do a full review in the future, especially if we decide that, okay, we're going to move forward with something like this. There are other products that can work really well too. So it's not like you just need to use that. For example, like beets work really well, and it's not the only product, but anyway, it's a good product. All right. Good herb. One used safely. All right. Alana's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I've been listening to your podcast for a few years now, and it's one of the constants in my life. So I really wanted to thank you for that. It takes a lot of time and work to record these every single day. And please know that we notice and appreciate it greatly. Thank you, Alana. I appreciate that. I wanted to ask your opinion about something I've been struggling with for a while: fat and cellulite on my belly. I've never had a flat stomach, but it's gotten worse throughout the years. I'm 43, have low female hormones, low thyroid, and some gut issues. I'm working on all those things with a naturopath, and I've done your CBO protocol too. I do 30 minutes of strength training and take long walks 5 to 6 days a week. I'm not overweight. I have muscle definition both in my lower and upper body, but my belly just keeps growing. It seems, is there anything you would advise me to do to get rid of belly fat and cellulite? I'm taking supplements, prioritize sleep and relaxation, and eat to help my hormone balance and hypothyroidism. Anything you would do would be much appreciated. Thank you in advance, Alana. All right. So I've got a few podcasts on cellulite. I would love you to go to stephencabral.com/podcasts and just type in cellulite. You'll find those podcasts. Because you'll want to be doing sauna, you'll want to be doing dry brushing, or just even manual-based massage. You will want to do your strength training like you're doing right now. You'll want to be able to do functional medicine detoxes, ideally the 21-day if you haven't done that yet. If you have, good, then just seasonal 7-day. And then you need to correct the cortisol and thyroid and low hormones, okay? Because all of those things can lead to body fat and belly fat gain as well. So those are really important. So if there's one thing I can say, okay, all of those lifestyle things that I gave you, but then also run the stress hormones, mood, and metabolism, because we need to fix those hormones, right? We need to rebalance those naturally, and that would be the answer. Jenny's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I've been a loyal listener for several years and can't thank you enough for all that you and your team do for this community. It's truly life-changing. Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate that. I see a dermatologist at least annually to check for moles and early skin cancer spots and years of sun damage in my teens and 20s before I knew better. I've had several removed from my face and chest, and because more seem to appear as time goes on, is there a natural face peeler you'd recommend that you may be able to help with these proactively? I know you've talked about the combination of French green clay and apple cider vinegar. I do have sensitive skin with redness. I think a facial peel may be the way to go for me, but I'm concerned about going to an esthetician due to the chemicals involved. But I'd like to give the skin on my face a fresh start, if that's even possible. I'd love to know your thoughts about this. Thank you. Okay, Jenny, it's a great topic. And I'll tell you what, I am definitely a private person. There's no doubt about it. You'll never see photos really of my wife or my 2 daughters on social media. And that's because we decided that, many years ago that, as a family, social media would be me more trying to help people, which is what I want to do, right? But I don't really use it to post pictures of family. And I think it's great when other people do, honestly, because it's amazing to see, their life and all that. But it's just something we've decided, my wife and I. So, but I get it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that my wife really knows a lot about natural skincare, about herbal-based products. She's done her research for sure. And she'd be an amazing esthetician. She really would. She knows about different types of facial massage, what to look for. I'll probably have her on another show. We're at episode 22, 27 today, I think. I'm gonna have to find a good show. Maybe we'll see. I have to invite her back. I have to convince her, first of all, to be back on. She's not a social media type of person. But I think it would be great for her to share some of this as well. But I know from speaking with her and doing my own research, and a lot of people ask this question, there's 3 main things that I know work exceptionally well. Besides, of course, again, hopefully you're already using your daily nutritional support, your immunity protocol, which is great for the skin, and your advanced collagen support. Okay, so good. You're doing those. Now, what do we do for this facial rejuvenation? Well, I think it's called like buccal massage is great for moving that lymph. uplifting for the face. But there's also facial acupuncture, which can work remarkably well for some people. But yours is more about skin turnover. So for skin turnover, there is microneedling. It's going to leave your, again, all of these things are going to have time out. Okay, let's talk about that just for a moment. So there's microneedling. That's natural, helps produce more collagen. Probably not going to give you the cell turnover. We talked about the French green clay and apple cider vinegar. There is the radio frequency. Again, I'm not an expert on that. I have to do more research on it. And then there is the full facial peel, which has its own name as well. Microneedling, you are probably out for what, like 3-4 days? Like your skin's gonna be red. The radio frequency, a bit more, and the facial peel, almost 2 weeks, meaning like your face is literally raw. And so just understand, like all of it's gonna make your skin very sensitive. Now they all have their, like it goes from basically effective, more effective, really effective for skin turnover because you're literally peeling off that epidermis, that top layer of skin. So I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I think that it can be a lot of positive, especially for people that may have gotten too much sun exposure before and they need to really remove a lot of that topical that might be there. So I can't give you my full opinion on that yet. I just kind of worked through it, externally processed right there. I hope that's helpful and more to come. All right, more to come for sure. Gina's up next. Thank you for doing what you do and helping others. I'm happy to have found your podcast. When I was 19, I was advised by my endocrinologist to take a radioactive iodine pill to deplete my thyroid. My thyroid was now hypo, because of the treatment. Is there anything I can do to treat it other than being on Synthroid long term, since I have nothing to work with anymore since it's no longer there? Thank you. Okay, there's well, if you don't have a thyroid, there's not a lot you can do, right? But what you can do then is to put thyroid into your body. So you can decide to take the synthetic, which is Synthroid, or you can decide to use something like a thyroid glandular or a compounded thyroid glandular, which is then a prescription. Most people use the brand Armor, which is essentially the desiccated thyroid from typically a pig or something like that. So you can, again, you just are going to have to work with a naturopath or integrative health practitioner, et cetera, that can help you with this. But most likely, in order to have thyroid hormone, you're going to have to take something into your body. And that something is first thing in the morning, away from food, on an empty stomach. All right. But again, I'm not providing medical advice. And I think you should talk with your doctor and look at what you feel is best for you. All right, Moez is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I hope you are doing well and have an amazing day. I appreciate that, Moez. I am. I have seen these bumps or pimples, and I'm not sure what to call them. They just look like a raised tissue or a pimple at the end of my tongue where my throat is. I've never felt anything from them whatsoever. No issues at all. However, they've been there for a while now, 4 or 5 years. Could be more. As far as I remember, it's been 5 years since I first saw them. Wonder what they are, what they do, and that's about 4 of them on each side. Sometimes they look big and sometimes smaller. I'm 29, pretty male. I exercise regularly, 4 to 5 times a week, weightlifting, eat pretty clean, mostly organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, don't have any health issues. Used to smoke before about 10 years, then quit 4 years ago. I don't drink and never will either. Take my vitamins regularly. All right. So the good news is, again, no treatments here, right? The good news is you might just be looking at the natural anatomy of the back of the tongue where there are larger bumps. That happens on everyone. You'll never see them unless you really stick your tongue out far in the mirror and just say, ah, and you start to see those bumps in the back of your tongue, having to do with taste buds and the tongue anatomy as well. So it sounds like you're talking about that. Again, I can't tell you exactly what because I have not seen the back of your tongue, so I can't compare it to anything else. So there's 2 things I want to tell you. One is it may be absolutely nothing. Right? It may literally be absolutely nothing, and that's just the tongue anatomy, and you saw it, and then you're like, whoa, that's because it looks strange. Don't get me wrong, Moez. I agree that it looks very strange. Okay, so the first part is it may be absolutely nothing. And that's just your normal tongue. The reason why they sometimes get bigger is, well, you've eaten, they might be a little bit more inflamed. That's always possible. You might have postnasal drip, possible. And there's creating a little bit of inflammation back there. All right, that's something to look at. The second is they might be tonsil stones On the tongue, probably not, but anything's possible. And so maybe look at my podcasts on tonsil stones at stephencabral.com/podcast. All right. So hopefully that's helpful. It sounds like you're doing great overall. And again, if you ever have an issue is like, are those supposed to be there? Next time you do your physical once a year with your MD, have them take a look, or her. Have them shine that light in the back of your throat and make sure that he or she says that's normal. All right. Moez is up again. All right. Moez says this. Hi again, Dr. Cabral. I'm having a breathing issue sometimes. I feel like I'm struggling for air. I try to inhale, and I just can't get that oxygen that my body needs. In some cases, no matter how many times I try to relax myself and inhale, I just can't get that oxygen. The air will go down through my throat, but I don't feel like I got the oxygen I need. So I just stopped thinking about it, and in a minute or two or less, I just breathe normal, and I have that oxygen. I will sometimes have to move my body and be in a certain position to be able to breathe and get oxygen. I had this issue since I was little. I'm also more of a mouth breather. The issue is worse when I don't eat very clean, like a cheat day or overeat a meal. However, even when I'm eating the cleanest, it is still there, but it gets a lot better. Even when I did the 4-day fast, I still felt it. I'm 29, 5'7", 245. I'm on a weight loss journey still. I was 365 pounds. I've still got a way to go, but I'm taking it slowly and healthily. Side note, I will plan on running the Big 5 pretty soon. I'm just not sure if they would help with these issues, as I'm feeling pretty amazing otherwise. All right. Moez, thanks so much for writing in. Totally understand where you're coming from. There are multiple scenarios. One, the first one, you're 5'7", 245. You still might be maybe, 60 pounds, 80 pounds away from your desired goal weight, whatever it is. So again, for a healthy goal weight, healthy BMI, you're doing amazing though. I mean, honestly, you should be congratulated. You should be proud of yourself. You've already lost over 100 pounds. That's absolutely phenomenal. So there is the first case of simply weight on top of the thoracic region of your body, which is your chest and your rib cage and your lungs. And when you're sitting a certain way, as you just said, that can actually make it harder to breathe. It could be weight compression on your rib cage. That's a real thing. That's why I talk about quality of life and weight. I never talk about vanity and weight. I talk about health and weight. And this is one thing to look at because it could just be that. All right. The second could be inflammation. And the inflammation is why you'd want to run the Big 5. What's it coming from? Gut issues, or is it coming from heavy metals, or is it coming from lack of B vitamins or lack of vitamin C? What's going on with the body? So that's important to look at it. Second is could be a buildup of carbon dioxide. This can happen when the body gets a little bit more acidic isn't the right word, but it's the best word to use in this particular scenario. What happens is your body starts to huff off a little bit more carbon because the body is just simply holding on too much of it. Sometimes that's a gaseous exchange issue between the cells, getting oxygen in, not enough oxygen, too much carbon dioxide, etc. That gets a little bit more complicated, but again, that's all fixed through the de-stress protocol anyways. You don't have to get too overly worried about that. And the last one might just be stress, because you said that when you try to relax and you just try to breathe, just calmly, not focus on it, it goes away within a minute or two. So it could simply be a little bit of low-level anxiety, a little bit of sympathetic nervous system dominance and stress, which causes more shallow breathing in the first place, which makes you have to feel like you have to breathe more to get more air in because your lungs aren't expanding as much. You're not oxygenating your blood to the same level or cells to the same level. So there's a bunch of different things packed into that. You're doing great, though. Keep working that health journey. I'm confident this will get better as well, too. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow answering more of our community's questions. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.